One of the things that people say to me quite often in our appointments is this: Cheryl, I don't want to be obsessed with this. Cheryl, I'm weighing myself every day. Oh, it's really bad. I don't want to become obsessed. I don't like to talk to other people about this because I don't want them to think that I'm becoming obsessed. I find this concept really interesting, this whole idea of obsession. It's something that I hear time and time again with people, and I just thought I'd quickly share my thoughts about this, especially if it's something that you have felt. And I know, just based on how many clients have said this to me, it is a belief that a lot of people share. And it's this thought that if we focus on our weight, that it's somehow a negative thing. Now, I know that a weight loss journey can include a lot of feelings and emotions, a lot of deeply felt issues, things that have gone on in the past. It's very different from one person to the next, and it can be a deeply emotional thing. I totally understand that. And my whole premise is that we have to go with what suits us. Only we know our journeys as the world expert we are, right? So there's no right and wrong. But when I look at people who have achieved success in life, they put a shitload of focus into that thing. For example, if you've ever known anyone who, and I say this example quite a lot to my clients, if you've known anyone who wants to be a millionaire and that's their goal, I reckon they probably look at their bank account every day or pretty often. They have a budget. I'm sure they have financial advisors who they see. They look at spreadsheets. They check out the stock market. I mean, you're not going to become a millionaire through luck. If that's your goal, you're going to work hard to focus on it so that it happens. I don't think people would look at you and say, oh, you're becoming a bit obsessed, it's a problem. I think people would probably look at that and say, wow, gosh, you're doing well, you're so successful, you've got all this money, that's great, good for you, you've worked hard. And the same in business. If we think of really successful business people, someone like Bill Gates, I read that when he was starting Microsoft, he was out in his parents' garage. He was pulling all-nighters, he didn't sleep, he was so focused on his dream. Now, I bet people who were with him at that time, they might have sort of said that he was obsessed, but you look back now and think, wow, he was really focused and look at what he achieved. It's amazing. People like Steve Jobs, I mean, look at these people out there. I would say that they have probably been very focused in what they've done, which is why they've achieved success. Olympic athletes, they're very focused as well, aren't they? Probably get up at 3 a.m. They have their training schedule, the nutrition plan, everything, right? That's why they achieve success. And weight loss is the same. If you want success, you've got to focus on it. Take the actions. And what I'm suggesting to you is don't think it's negative. Don't. If you're feeling negative about it, just think about that, reassess it. Maybe some of the actions you're doing aren't in alignment with what feels good to you, but don't feel that taking action is a negative thing. I've worked as a nutritionist for 10 years. I was also really lucky to work with my original nutritionist when I was studying nutrition. Now, she worked with a lot of body sculptors, people who looked obviously amazing and really did put 110% in. Now, yes, they were very focused, but that's why they achieved their result. I'm not saying that we need to have that level for most of us. If we're not training for body sculpting, we don't need to be quite that strict and carry our food around with us all the time, etc. But there are definite actions that should be taken if you want to be successful. Don't think of it as negative. And what would these actions be? Things like weighing yourself often. I'm a fan of daily weighing because it really shows me where my body is at. But definitely you want to do it frequently because it's really good for accountability. Plus you can see if your body's a bit inflamed. So weighing yourself, tracking your food, either using an app or having a food diary, making a food plan for the day. Maybe you need certain rules at certain times so that you aren't persuaded to get off track. My rule at the moment, getting through the Christmas period, is look, I can be a bit messy, but it has to be with low carb foods. I don't have to eat perfectly, but I will not eat carbs. I also really focus on not snacking, just because especially at this time of the year, there's so many snacky things. So I just try and stick to good meals and definitely no carbs, because that just works really well for me. But when you have your rules, when you have your structure, the cool thing is you don't really think about it after that, because you just do what you do. You just do what you've planned to do. I don't really think about it. Now, if I think of the times in my life that I've been obsessed, feeling so negative, it's when I don't have a plan, when I've gone through and eaten things I shouldn't and started to feel bloated. Oh my God, my pants are tight. That is the worst feeling in the world. I would say in my head, that's when I have become obsessed, because all I can think about is how I feel pretty bloody gross. When you're following a plan, doing well, feeling good, there's nothing negative about that. And I think it's just good to talk about this, because it's something I hear so often. If you're taking actions daily, don't think of this as obsession. Think of this as focus, good management, success. Because I tell you what, the more that you focus on this, the far more likely you are to achieve your goal quickly.